Hello everybody, so today I'm going to be using the Kiara Sky Color Kit dip powder nail system to do my nails. I've only had my nails dipped one time. I loved it. I watched her do it so that I could do it on my own one day. Here we are, having to do it out of necessity. So, first of all, this kit comes with 4 bottles, and this is their system. Step 1 is the bond. Step 2 is the base. Step 3 is the seal protect, and then they have a top coat. So it comes with those 4 bottles, and then it came with these 4 powders. We have the natural shade, we have the clear shade, we have this glitter called eye candy, and then we have this kind of peachy shade called Pep Talk. So that's what the kit came with, and then it came with these instructions, and then a little tips card, and then it also came with the brushes separately that I'm guessing I'm gonna have to put in these things. So what I'm going to need, or what I bought myself to go with this after watching lots of videos, is well, I already have this makeup brush that I'm going to be using. You're gonna need a makeup brush to help dust things off your nails. You're gonna need a nail file. You're gonna need a nail file of some sort. You could use a regular one. I'm gonna be using a regular one, and I also got myself an e-file, which is an electronic nail file, and it came like with all these different tips and stuff that I'm going to be using to shape after the powder is set. And then you're going to need some kind of wipe. They say to use a lint-free wipe, but like what even is that? I don't know. So I got a rag that doesn't have anything that comes off of it. And then I am also going to be applying tips. So I got these nail tips off of Amazon. And since I'll be applying tips, you also are going to need some nail glue. This is not the one I usually use. I don't know where mine is, so we're going to use this one. All right, so we're going to follow the directions to get as close to perfect as we can. So it says, prep nail, begin with clean sanitized hands, push back cuticle, remove shine from the natural nail with a file. So I'm going to go ahead and do all that right now. I'm going to be using the regular crystal emery board that I have to file down the natural shine on my nail, and then I'm going to clip them and do all that, and then I'll come. Okay, so I filed them down and cleaned them up. So now it says to apply bond, which is step 1, to the natural nail, and I think that this just dehydrates the nails. And so far, when I first opened this bottle, it did have kind of like a chemically smell, but now I don't really smell it anymore. And to be fair, it didn't have any stronger of a chemical smell than regular nail polish does. This one didn't anyway. I don't know about the other ones. That's something I am going to be looking out for, because I've heard that some of these can get pretty wild. So this, I don't know if you can tell, but it's supposed to just dehydrate the nails. This is the point where you would apply your tips if you were going to use them. You do not have to use tips to use dip powder. I just want to put that out there. You could totally put it on your natural nail. I've heard that that is a good way to help them grow out without chipping and stuff. So you could totally do that. I'm just choosing not to. We are going to start with the nails that I picked out right here, and I'm just going to, off camera, use this nail glue and glue them onto my nails. Okay, so a little bit of an update. I attempted to put these tips on that I showed you from Amazon, the pointy ones, but they did not work. I tried for like 15 minutes to get one of these to stick to my thumb. I tried different glues, didn't work. I think the issue was that it just, I don't know if you can tell, but they're so bendy that when I have to lay them flat on my nail, the glue is just not strong enough. I don't have strong enough glue to hold that kind of tension that it's creating. So those were kind of crap for me. I did have some other like just a set of like regular press-on nails that were the same opacity, like the natural color or whatever. So I put those on instead. Now they did not have the little cutout here like these ones did, so they look a little bit weird. I don't know, we're gonna try it. I shaped my thumb and my pinky already on this finger to see if it was gonna work, and I think it'll be fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and shape and file the rest of them down to the shape that I want. Okay, so now that they are all filed to the shape that I want, I'm going to go in with my electric nail file, and I'm going to grind, that's like a gross word, I'm sorry, but I'm just going to try to smooth out where the false nail meets my real nail to make a more smooth and flat surface for the dip. You can see it's kind of raised up there. So I'm going to try to flatten that out. So it says first, since I have tips on, and you don't have to do this step if you do not have tips, it said to get your natural powder, which is here. So I'm going to open the natural powder. And to take the second step, which is the, I believe this is called base. And it says apply base right where the nail tip meets the natural nail and dip into natural powder. I think this is just to kind of help bond the two together. If I could open this, okay. All right. So let's just try on one nail. Oh crap. So this is kind of the consistency of nail polish, and it can get runny. So here we go in at an angle. So now I'll take my brush and wait, did I get all the way in? Oh, mine is very full. Okay, so now I'm gonna turn around. Tap, 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 tap. Okay, so that's kind of what it looks like, if you can see that. Here, let me turn. It's pretty bumpy, but I did a pretty terrible job. So let's get that back over there. All right, let's try again. We're gonna try a different nail this time. Now that we know how this works. I believe this dries pretty quickly. So cover it all in, take it out, turn around, tap, 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 tap. I know I sound like super annoying. Brush it off. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and continue to do that for all the rest of my nails, and I will come back. Okay, so now we completed that step for all the nails. I'm not the greatest at this, obviously. This is a first impression after all, but we did it. We did that part. So the next part, it says to apply the base to 3/4 of the nail towards the free edge and dip into natural powder. So let's make sure we're in frame here. So I'm basically just gonna go down to where on my nails I already went. And you're gonna take it out, turn it over, tap, 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 tap. Okay, so that's what that looks like. These two nails are where we've completed that. So I'm gonna complete this step on all the rest of the nails, and then I'll come back. So now that that's completed to all the nails, I'm going to go into the color. I'm gonna go ahead and open that up. And now it says to apply the base a hairline away from the cuticle and dip into desired color. So we have our base here, and we're gonna go a hairline away, which I don't really know what that means. And I'm not really positive if I got a hairline away or not. So now I'm gonna dip it straight into this glitter. Pull it out, turn it over, and tap. This is what the glitter looks like right now. And then since we're going to be doing just solid glitter on this hand, it says to go ahead and apply the base to the entire nail. And I find that these Kiara Sky powders, brand new, are like really freaking full to the top. So I guess have something to catch it underneath, or just be okay with the fact that you're probably gonna lose some product. So I'm gonna go ahead and let that sit, and I'm gonna do that to this other accent nail, and then okay, so now I'm gonna move on to the attempted ombre part. Okay, so the next step, after all of your nails have been colored the way that you want them to, we are going to use the clear and use the same base coat to go over the entire nail and then put clear powder into it. Now, I've seen online to protect the pureness of the clear to kind of use a system. They sell something like this on their website, but like I can't be bothered, so I'm going to just kind of pour a little bit into these fancy measuring cups and then just keep pouring in between the two of these. So I'll show you what I mean here in a second. So I'm going to take the base and let's just apply it to the pointer finger. I'm going to apply it all over the nail. To take this and just dip or pour it over top. Around and tap, 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 tap. And then we have the clear coat, for which now I will brush off the excess. And so there, you have a clear coat, and I'm gonna do that to the rest of the nails. Okay, so now we're ready to move on to step 3, which is seal protect. So it says just to liberally apply seal protect to allow powder to activate. And then when you hear a clicking noise, it is finished. Okay. Now, this stuff smells and stings. If you have like any open cuts or cuticle things, this is gonna hurt those areas. And it like, I don't know if you can see what it's doing to my nails. Let's see if you can see with this one. But it's just like, it's instantly changing its color to its true form. I'm gonna do that to all nails, and then it says it's ready to buff when you hear a clicking sound. Okay, so now it's time to apply one more coat of the Seal Protect, and then it says to massage and wipe the nail with lint-free wipe to remove excess Seal Protect afterwards. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. So that's what it looks like with all the Seal. Take my cloth and massage it in. Okay, so now you can hear the clicking sound. That one as well. So now I'm going to go ahead and use my e-file to shape the nails, because you can tell that some of these are like bumpy and gloopy, so I'm going to e-file these so that the shape looks okay, and then we'll move on. Okay, so the last step is that we're going to go in with the top coat, and it says to go in with 2 coats of the top coat. So one thing to say about the actual like solid color powders is that, well, actually with the glitter too, the color that the powder is not as like, so like when it actually is on the nail, it appears much darker, if that makes any sense. So just keep that in mind if you're shopping it. So it says to apply the top coat in thin, even strokes, let it dry completely, and then come back for a second one, because it did say that the first top coat might dry a little bit dull, which I can totally see that happening. Now, my brush for the top coat is already stiff and I just barely opened it. So this is the finished look. I have to say the middle fingers didn't end up looking as bad as I thought. The glitter is really nice. I love the glitters. This color, like this solid color, ooh, I got some of the top coat flooding my cuticle. Let's look at this hand. The solid colors, like the pinky and the pointer, I don't love it as much. I would never choose this color to wear in my real life. Overall, I think this is pretty easy to use. It took me a freaking long time, but because this is my first time doing it, and I was trying to figure out all the steps. So I'm gonna try to get more powders in the future and do this with colors that I actually like. Yeah, so let me know if you've done this and if you have any tips or tricks. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.